your fitness business podcast snapshot. When it comes to social media, is it more important to have a lot of followers or have high engagement of your posts? What's Shelly's secret to creating successful posts? And finally, finding the perfect content for engagement. All of that and more coming up in today's show. Welcome to episode 302 of the industry's leading business podcast for fitness owners and managers. This month's interviews are brought to you by our podcast partner, MyZone, the industry's leading wearable technology platform that increases retention and drives customer engagement, whether in a gym, outdoors, or at home. To find out more, go to myzone.org. FBP family, welcome back for another episode. I'm your host, Dory Nugent, and welcome to show number 302. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever looked at someone's Facebook or Instagram post and noticed how many comments they have? Did you think to yourself, well, what's so special about that post that it grabbed so much engagement, yet you struggle to get a couple thumbs up and maybe a comment or two if you're lucky? Frustrating, right? Well, I guarantee that you will come away from this episode wiser and savvier about how to change all of that. Our guest today, Shelly Melville, is a successful club owner of an Anytime Fitness located in Australia. But today's show isn't about learning how to run a successful club, but it is about how to run a successful social media page that engages your members and keeps them coming back for more. Shelly, along with her Anytime Fitness staff, has formulated the secret sauce to get their members to actually engage in what they post. So, what's in the secret sauce? Well, stay tuned to learn about what they post, how often they post, and which of their posts have made the top 3 for most engaged posts. Now, Shelly, she is no rookie when it comes to digital marketing. She does also own Rocket Marketing and Design and has found success in combining her love for fitness along with her passion for marketing and social media. We are about to transition into this week's interview, but first, here is a message from our friends at MyZone. MyZone is the industry's leading wearable technology platform that drives engagement and provides personal feedback and motivation through gamification, wherever your members choose to work out. Go digital to provide a hybrid offering. Your members will love you for it. Learn more at myzone.org. It's time to get started. Let's enjoy this week's interview with our special guest, Shelly Melville. Hi, Shelly. Welcome to the Fitness Business Podcast. It's awesome to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and you're coming from Australia, am I correct?
Yes, it's nice and early.
Not like the accent didn't give it away or anything, right?
Definitely not.
All right, Shelly. Well, we're going to tell our listeners a little bit about you before we get started. So you're a club owner first. Yes. Anytime Fitness. Yes?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And where is your location located at?
So we're in rural New South Wales. So we're about 2 hours north of Sydney, near the Hunter Valley, which is our wine region.
Oh, perfect. And how many employees do you have?
I've got 2 employees and 1 personal trainer.
And how's business these days, post-COVID?
Post-COVID, it is now flourishing. Shockingly enough, we have had one of our best months we've ever had. Our retention is amazing. Our growth has been exceptional. And I put that down to a lot of hard work in previous years.
Oh, you're going to make everybody out there listening feel so good to hear that you're like, things are going good. Things are going good. It's nice to have a little.
It gets better. It's not as bad as you think it's going to be.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. Now, you also own a marketing and design company called Rocket.
Yes, I do.
Okay, my time.
So Rocket's it's just me. I started about 15 years ago. That makes me feel older. And I started in marketing before there was no social media. So we had to look at different avenues of promoting pre-social media days. And obviously as social grows, we've had to grow with it and change how we work and change everything basically to go into the digital world.
So good blend between a genius when it comes to social media and owning a health club. I mean, what a great combination.
Oh, it definitely makes it interesting. I definitely like to push the boundaries a little bit sometimes, but my husband's there to stop me, don't worry.
I'm going to assume you said you had 2 employees. I'm going to assume one of them is not a marketing director, correct? All right. Now, I also saw that you worked in the hotel industry as well.
Yes. So I started in marketing in nightclubs and pubs when I was 18 years old. So right when you're actually allowed to start drinking in Australia. And oddly, we learned over the years, and now that I've come into fitness, I've learned that the two markets are pretty similar. One's busy at the beginning of the week and one's busy at the end of the week. So, but in terms of our market, in particularly where we are, the market is exactly the same. They are the people that go to the pub and they go to the gym so they can go to the pub. So having fun with it is having fun with your marketing and having fun with your social media is definitely what's helped me transition from pubs to fitness.
Fitness, perfect. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that transition into the fitness and hopefully give our listeners some tips, some ideas on how they can improve their social media strategy and to produce more engagement and more followers. You ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay. So the most common question, let's start with our first question. The most common question asked in social media world is, how many followers do you have? Do you feel that it's more important to have a large number of followers or have your engagement up?
So followers are great. I will never discount that, but engagement is 100% where it's at. I'd much rather have 1,000 engaged followers than 5,000 unengaged followers. The best way to explain it is if you're spending a valuable amount of time as a business owner coming up with your content and scheduling it and posting it and writing captions, don't you want some kind of engagement back? I mean, if you think about a business owner that, they begin to despise social media because they're putting in the work and they're talking to nobody because they've got no engagement.
Okay, so I have a question. So speaking of engagement, so you put a post out there and one of your members writes a reply or they write something back. How many times is there an unwritten rule that you kind of keep going back and forth with the person, or is it one of those things where you're like, okay, they said something, but they don't really need a reply for me? How do you tell the difference? And
I would suggest, even if they have written something and there isn't something you can particularly reply with, at least reply with an emoji because they've taken the time out to engage with your business. Give them the respect back to reply, even if it's just an emoji, and acknowledge them. But if there is a conversation happening, try and go back and forth because that's what it's about. Social media is all about being social, and that's the biggest thing I can teach people because I think a lot of business owners leave it as set and forget. You need to be there, you need to be replying, you need to be engaging.
Yeah, I like that, set and forget. Yeah, I think that's very, very common. Absolutely. So I love that.
Definitely.
Okay, I have a question for you, Shelley. When it comes to the fitness industry, you seem to have way more engagement than most gym owners. What's the secret sauce?
Well, there are a few key ingredients to my secret sauce. I feel like number one would be creating a community who wants to actually talk to you. When you post, they are there and they're ready to communicate with you. So be there and communicate back with them at the time. Number two would be engage back with them, like I just said earlier. But a lot of businesses are set and forget, like I said. So they're losing a valuable opportunity to build up a community. If someone comments, reply back.
Okay.
And number 3 would be, I feel like this has become a little bit of a buzzword, but I say it all the time, but it is a bit of a buzzword in social media land. But authenticity is the absolute key. Being human, having pretty Instagram feeds is great and they are really aesthetically pleasing, but it probably boxes you in terms of what you can do. So having a bit more of a variety and being able to just put something up because it's come up and showing the, behind the scenes of your life, behind the scenes of your team is incredibly powerful.
Now let's define engagement. Do you classify engagement just a thumbs up like, or does it need to be in the comment section?
I feel like engagement can be anything from its likes, its comments, its shares. It's anything. I mean, likes used to be the creme de la creme of everything for social, but now it is shifted to more comments because Facebook and their algorithm and Instagram are all about, I guess, meaningful interactions. If you're providing a meaningful interaction, they're going to pop your post up a little bit higher and more people are going to see it.
Okay, so because now you're saying, hey, it's shifted from just the thumbs up to we're looking for a comment. What type of post, whether it's a question, a video, an image, or a poll, do you feel that you're getting the biggest engagement, the comment box is getting filled? Which type of post?
It honestly, I wish there was an answer to that. But it is whatever you are posting that's going to resonate with the other person on the other side. Right now, we're in the middle of right now we're in the middle of an era of human to human marketing. It's different now. People connect with people on social, especially when it comes to social media, a platform when they really want to connect with their family and friends. So it's a really personal medium, and businesses that hide behind their business and they don't want to show their faces and they don't want to show their faces of their team and they don't inject a human element into it, and their socials, you'll see they won't perform. So the ones that show the team, the owners, the behind the scenes, and inject a bit of life and personality into it, that's what works. So it could be a photo, it could be a video, but it's all about the content that you're producing.
And you're also saying balance, right? Have a little bit of face and have a little bit of video.
100%. So don't do all one or all the other. Try and have a really, really good mix of both.
And when you put these variety of posts up, do you want to make sure that every single post is branded, or does that not really matter?
I believe in subtle branding, so I won't stick our logo on there or anything like that, but I will ensure if we're in club that it's near an AF logo or one of our staff, or all our staff are wearing shirts, whatever the case may be. There is subtle branding always within our videos.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. I like that. So when we're mixing and making variety, do you have is everything pre-scheduled? Do you have a calendar? Do you have a schedule and you know exactly what's posting out every day? Do you lay it all out?
A lot of our content is pre-planned. Obviously, having a strategy is key. If you don't have social media without a strategy, it's a lost cause almost sometimes. But it depends what's happening in my week. So if I'm really busy that week, I'll pre-plan and pre-schedule everything. But if not, I will live post. I like live posting.
And do you use a specific app when you lay everything out, or is this just something kind of in your mind, or
my planning stage? That is my geeky daily and weekly planner. I have a whole section in there called Gym Socials. So I plan it all out with my team on a Monday. So every Monday we're all together and we know that there's a set time to film, the team know, and we write out what we're doing for the week and ensure that the mixture is right. So it's not just funny videos all week and it's not serious stuff all week, but it's a really, really good combination of everything.
So you said something there really interesting. You said we film the same time, the team. So you literally schedule filming for the socials in your week with your team?
Definitely. So I used to only be within our business 1 day a week, but now I'm there a lot more. But we have stuck to that Monday between 2 and 3. We do all of our filming. My team know, and they say to me, what are we filming today? They're used to it. They've been educated on it. They send me stuff throughout the week. So we've got it all saved and ready to go. And they say, can we film this on Monday? So that's been really helpful to have because they're very young. So it's great to see the things that they engage with that they like to see because that's our market.
I like to hear that you have everybody involved.
Very, very involved.
I get it. You have, what'd you say, 2 employees and a trainer. So you're small, a little different if you've got, 50 employees running around. But if you are a large club, would you say to a gym owner or a marketing director, like, hey, you should designate maybe somebody from training department, somebody from sales department, hospitality department? Would you pull them into your team?
I would 100% do it. Not only for the fact that you're showing different facets of the business and different people with different skills, but outside of that, it's everyone with different experiences and different lives. So if they are all your target market, that's ideal for you because the things that they engage with and they enjoy on social media, they will bring to you as ideas as well.
Okay, so here's a question that I hear a lot. How much is overposting? Is once a day too much? Is 2-3 times a day too much? What's your thoughts on that?
My personal thoughts, because I feel like there is no magic number. I post once a day on both platforms. I won't post on Saturday normally, but in saying that, stories are absolute key. If you are not using stories, you are losing so much engagement. It's really, really shifted to stories now. So whilst I might only post one on each, stories are all day, every day.
And are you pulling members into these stories?
We've educated our members really well. It took a long time, but they tag us in all their stories. Okay. So user-generated content is crucial. That is social proof. They are showing to the world that they love your brand, but outside of that, you are showing them that you respect them back by reposting it. The more you repost of your members, the more your other members will do it. And they are doing your marketing for you. Your life has just become easier.
Right. So I have a feeling that all the club owners out there, marketing directors are like, yeah, we know this. And we try to get our members to engage, but we can't. What did you do? You said it took you a while, but what did you do to get the members to engage? I know you're saying repetition.
It is repetition, it's patience, and that's the hardest thing. You do lose patience and you're like, why is nobody posting here? We've got quite a pretty club, so I think that does help. But we've got a younger market as well. So younger markets, they want to take bathroom selfies and they want to take photos of themselves training. And that's amazing, and that's what we wanted. But you've got to, I think initially you might have to reward them for it. If you're really struggling to get them to do it, I would reward them with a selfie comp with a prize pack and get them used to it. Once they're used to it, it's just normal life. And then they ask if they can be shown on your socials.
Shelley, a lot of clubs struggle with trying to do the live posts. And they've got members that they're not sure if they want to be in the post. They're not sure if they want to be in the video, whether it's live or whether it's a video that you're going to use at a later date. With your members, do you have them sign something when they first come in? Is it just, again, that repetitious that they kind of get used to it? How do you work the videos and the pictures with your members getting the approval?
So we don't get approval. I think, again, it's repetition, and we've trained our members to get used to it. They kind of know between that weird hour of 2 and 3 o'clock on a Monday, there's going to be a lot of filming in club. It's just on our iPhones. We just sort of wander around and do things. But if they want to be in the background, they're happy just to hang out there. But if they don't, they quickly shuffle out of frame. But again, we would never ever show anyone in any kind of bad light or anything like that. So we really are a great community within our club. And they are fine to be shown. And if they don't, they will tell you, and we respect that 100%.
And I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt.
Okay.
And do you have your team just listen for the stories? So many times there's stories going on in people's lives that you don't realize that are really inspiring.
100%. So our team, we really encourage them to not sit in the office whatsoever. We want them to be out on the floor talking to members, and that's where their job is. And that's why we're firm believers in retention, and that is what we focus on. But our team are out there and they're talking to our members and they are booking ongoing consults with our members. And, those consults aren't a PT session, it's goal setting and it's talking about life and seeing where you are and seeing where you want to be and how we can help you get there. But outside of that, it's just having general conversations with our members. How's your training going? How's things at home? And that's it. And all of a sudden, you've divulged so much information from a member and you very politely ask, are you okay if we share your story on our socials? Because it's inspiring. And a lot of the time, people are going through something similar. And, someone will resonate with that. And that's what's really important.
So Shelley, we've talked a lot about your engagement being top notch and you've gotten your members to really embrace your social media. What are your top 3? I'm going to throw this out at you. What are your top 3 posts of all time and why do you think they were so successful?
So I'm going to probably share just the top 3 from the last 2 years because I couldn't go back further on Instagram. But collectively, they've organically reached about 20,000 people. We don't really actually spend too much money on advertising at all. We really rely on organic engagement. But to our team, so one day we got garbage bags and we all sat in them and vacuumed the air out. And as I say the words, it actually sounds ridiculous, but that was our top performing post ever. And that was insane. Our members all got involved, actually ran out of garbage bags because everybody wanted to do it. The video is hilarious. And if you ever get a chance to do it, I really recommend you do it.
So this sounds like a TikTok video. So
long before TikTok was around. That's the crazy part.
So did you have a bunch of members in one picture or did you just have...
It was a video. Yeah, so we just, everyone had a go. We filmed it and we just cut it all up and put it together in a quick video. I think the thing is that my husband and I, we own the club and we're in the club, but we get involved as well. So our team are more than happy to get involved with the shenanigans that happen.
Okay, so I should tell the listeners, put your members or yourself in a garbage bag and suck the air out and you're going to have amazing engagement in your social media platform.
I promise you, that thing got shared. It was sent. We didn't think it was ever going to be that big. We actually just did it because it looked like a lot of fun. But I think it got sent. It was messaged to other people about 200 times. It was insane.
All right. So we'll say post number 1, that was your most popular, was a silly post.
Yes.
Okay. About number 2?
And number 2 would be, so most of our engaging posts are really heartfelt. So as we were talking about earlier about members sharing stories, one of our beautiful members she joined up because she wanted to have IVF so she could have a baby. They are honest and real stories about our members. It's, the no BS policy. They're showing they're human. They're showing their struggle and why they're there and why they're on their fitness journey. And I think one thing for people to remember is people are terrified of joining gyms a lot of the time. So if you're showing that, hey, we're all human here and our members are human and they're going through things that you're going through as well, it really does break down that barrier.
Okay. And number 3.
Again, it's another silly video, but one of my staff members loves to dance. We laugh all the time because she's an absolute crack up, but we had her on our lifting platform dancing and it was when you realise it's only 3 days until we reopened after COVID. So, and that was our top 3 and they so it is a mixture of a lot of fun but a lot of seriousness as well.
Right. Well, as a membership director and I'm always about sales and keeping members engaged, I feel like your social media platform is an amazing way to keep your members, your retention. I mean, from talking to you and listening and the amount of engagement that you're getting is right there. And we put a lot of stress and value on group fitness to keep the engagement. And in your case, it sounds like your social media platform might possibly be your top form of retention for your members if you're getting that much engagement.
100%. And how we found this out more than ever was during COVID when we were closed for 12 weeks. I engaged with all of our members on social. It was really odd, but I would DM them via Instagram and just check in with them and see how they were. They were so thrilled and so happy just to have that. But outside of that, building that digital community. So we didn't just have a community face-to-face in club. We have a whole entire digital community online.
Okay, now how about listen, there's a big gap in social media between the younger generation and a little bit older generation. Have you been successful at trying to get the older generation engaged in your posts?
They actually do engage. We've got a really cool little cluster of older people who love it. They love when we're in club. And I think for them, it's a bit of a break from their lives. So they come in club and we're doing some fun stuff and they get involved. They want to get involved with the fun stuff. You know, I think it keeps them young and they enjoy it. And, you know, it's a bit of a laugh in their day as well, especially if they're at home or they're retired. It's a bit of a different environment from home, I'm guessing. So, but just having, I think, again, it comes back to the content you're posting. At the end of the day, those older people are still struggling with things. A lot of them are battling mental health or whatever the case may be. So if you're showing the fact that, hey, we're human and we struggle with this too, and our members are human and they struggle with this as well, you still have that engagement with them because there is still something they can resonate with.
Mm-hmm. So what platforms are you most popular with your members? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it Twitter?
It's Instagram, Facebook, and then TikTok.
Okay, so you've started doing the TikToks within your club?
Yeah, I actually started about a year ago. And then, yeah, during COVID, it was really, really popular. And I feel like it's probably taken a little bit more of a dip. But noticeably with TikTok now, the market, the actual age group has shot up because of COVID. So everyone that was at home and in their 30s decided to download it. So it's not for 15-year-olds anymore. So if you're not on TikTok, maybe it's time to have a look at it.
Listen, let's also put the over 40 category in there.
There are people of all ages in there. It's amazing now. I love it. I can't see any of the dances though.
I'm in that over 40 and I swear I'm obsessed with it. Oh my gosh. It completely entertained me during quarantine and I would laugh and laugh. And
before you knew it had been 4 hours, you're like, oh my God, I'm swanny.
Okay, so you're saying Instagram first, Facebook second, and then TikTok third.
Yes.
Okay. Now, also, do you have the Facebook has groups? Do you encourage to have the groups within your club for Facebook?
Definitely. We started our private members only group about 2 years ago, and it was more a place for them. Groups are great because it's a safe haven for people. It's not a public space. They feel like they can comment there. They feel like they can ask questions. Whereas on your normal Facebook feed, they're probably a little bit too terrified to write something in the comment section. So it's 100% a safe space for people in a group. So our members share things. Funny story, we've got this tree at our gym that people reverse into all the time with their cars. So now it's become the ongoing thing in the group of who's going to rip down the tree. So just things like that. It's a bit of banter and it's a bit of inclusivity.
Oh, this is so great. I love it. I wish I worked where you were. I would be in on all of your TikToks. And
I need to see one of your TikToks now.
your trash bag sucking air out and all that stuff. So, well, Shelley, it's been awesome talking to you. You have so many great tips out there. We're going to make sure that we put your contact information in our show notes so that if any of our listeners have, additional questions, or maybe they want you to expand a little bit more on maybe a specific topic that you were talking about, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get your pen ready now for Keep Me's Fit Bizpiration.
So, Shelley, what are your 3 tips to boost engagement on your social media platforms?
Number 1, engage with your community all the time. Number 2, be real, be human, and have fun. And number 3, be consistent and patient and make sure you're posting quality over quantity.
All right, Shelley, it has been an absolute pleasure to talk with you today. What a super fun topic and so relatable to just about any club owner out there. I mean, who doesn't want to engage more and more often with their members?
Thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. And again, we'll put all your contact information in our show notes so that our listeners can reach out to you. And best of luck. I already have followed you on Facebook. Facebook right before our interview started. I went on, so I can't wait to see all of your posts, and I'll make sure that I hit you up on TikTok and I'll hit you up on Instagram as well. And
Thank you so much.
I have to say one more thing. As I was creeping on your Facebook, your wedding pictures are absolutely beautiful. So
thank you.
out there, go check out Shelly's Facebook page and her beautiful wedding pictures. It looks like you got married on an island.
We actually got married in Jervis Bay, which is about 2 hours south of Sydney, and it is it's called Hymes Beach. And if you ever get the chance to come to Australia, if you're not here, go and check it out. It is incredible.
Well, they looked absolutely beautiful. But thank you so much for all of your social media tips. I hope that our listeners out there can pick and pull a couple things, and it helps to increase their social media platforms. Thanks so much, Shelly.
Thank you.
Keep Me, smarter member retention. KeepMe.ai.
Off air, Shelly and I continued our discussion on how she marketed her content after her gym reopened due to the COVID shutdown. Here's what she had to say.
I didn't. We had this discussion as well, and we had a team talk about it. One of my PT was like, we need to talk about safety, and I was like, no, we don't. I said, everywhere you look, that's all we see. Everywhere you walk into is hand sanitizer. Everywhere, signs up. I think everyone is sick to death of it. And for us, especially here, and where we are, we're far removed from Sydney Metro. People want normality again, and that's something I found. And they're sick of talking about it. And they just want fun stuff back, and they want their lives back. So we were one of the very few who branched away from it, and it worked well for us.
Okay, so
But we're still all about safety in club. That's absolutely paramount to us, but just not broadcasting it everywhere. Because for me, one thing I noticed was a lot of clubs are like, hey, we're clean and we're safe. And I'm like, were you not clean and safe prior? And that's how my thinking would be. And then you've got the idea in a member's head of them going, oh, maybe I should be worried. So, yeah.
I think that's a great topic in a sense of owners, marketing directors are struggling with that. Like, do you douse your social media page like, hey, look at us, look at everything we're doing? Or, do you just give them that I know myself, when I go on any of those social media platforms, honestly, for me, it is 5 minutes of a break. Yeah. I don't want to read any more about COVID. I don't want to, see signs. So I like to see the silly, funny stuff. So I know that's a big question.
Yeah, it's for us, social media is escapism. So it's where you go to relax. It's where you go to see what your friends and family are doing. It's not where you go to. Technically, you shouldn't be reading the news on there, but we do because we're forced to, and we see all this COVID stuff. Every now and then we want to break in that. So just for our insanity. I don't know if the US is like that, because obviously your circumstance is probably a little bit different to ours. But yeah, it's worked well for us. But we do dot it in between. So things like on our stories, we'll put up sanitizing and things like that, but not on our main feed.
I hope that you enjoyed today's episode and you were able to take some notes on how to improve your engagement on your social media posts. I'd like to take this opportunity to once again thank Shelly Melville for coming on our podcast. Now, here's a message from our podcast partner, Team Rockstar Fit.
Team Rockstar Fit is an award-winning mastermind team that helps fit pros lead happy and balanced lives. Get mentoring and support. Learn how to grow your business online with Beachbody. You can apply for a free consultation today at teamrockstarfit.com.
Quickfire 5.
It's time for this week's Quickfire 5 with our special guest, Joanna Rawbone.
Welcome, Joanna, to the Fitness Business Podcast.
Thank you.
All right, today we have your quick fire 5 questions. Starting off with number 1, why do you do what you do?
I do what I do. I founded Flourishing Introverts because I finally got mad enough, I got angry enough about introverts being misunderstood mocked and excluded. And let me tell you, it takes a lot to get an introvert angry.
All right, number 2, what's the one ritual that helps you become better at what you do?
So the ritual, I think, is about staying curious and continually asking. I don't assume that I know everything because things are constantly changing, as we're finding out right now.
For sure on that one. Number 3, what's an app or system that you use to stay in control of your workload?
System is a bullet journal. I've reverted to that more recently because I'm very kinesthetic. And when I write things down, they stick in my mind more than if I just tap or type.
Yeah, it's interesting. My last couple of interviews, many people are going back to the old-fashioned journal, calendar, notebook, things along those lines. So you're in great company, that I will say.
Good.
What's one book, podcast, blog, or Facebook group that you would recommend and why?
Am I allowed to say my own?
You sure can. Go for it.
So I would recommend my website, which is all the W's, flourishingintroverts.com, because you can find my quiz, my TEDx talk, my podcast, my blog, the whole works is there.
Yeah, absolutely. Plug away. And lastly, what are you going to share in your main interview?
So I'm going to share how a lack of understanding is costing businesses and whatever field they're in, but it's costing businesses profitability and growth and therefore survival. And it's also costing individuals, so clients, even members of staff, in terms of their health and well-being. And I don't think anyone can afford to overlook that.
Oh, awesome stuff coming up. So FBP family, make sure you tune in next week for Joanna Rawburn's episode.
Tribe, if you haven't explored a functional training space for your gym, then now is the time. With Queenex Functional Training by Precor, there is a unit to fit every space. Plus, education is included to ensure that training is delivered with confidence. You need to jump online and check this out right now. Go to precor.com/fitness business podcast. Hi everyone, Chantal here. Thank you for joining me for this week's throwback episode. Our featured show this week is episode 171. It was called Ignite the Customer Experience in Your Fitness Business. And my special guest was Amanda Stevens. Amanda is an authority in customer service and engagement. And during the episode, we talked about the difference between a customer and an advocate, how we can help our team understand the importance of customer service, how a customer advisory board can help you get great insights on your fitness business, and we chatted about the role of technology for customer experience. This was one of our most popular episodes of 2018. So if you haven't yet heard it, then make the time to take a listen. You can find the episode at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com or search for the episode number 171. Happy listening.
Thank you for joining me for another successful episode. And just to remind you that all the resources and links for today's episode can be found at fbp.com under the show notes section. And here are a few words from our founding partner, Active Management.
Hi FBP family, it's JT from Active Management, the founding partner of the Fitness Business Podcast. Thanks to the amazing technology at our fingertips, we can now work with clients all over the world. But right now, you can join the free online Active Management Facebook community. It's an amazing group of people just like you. Sure, I share weekly resources, but it's the power of the community that you will experience that will make this your go-to Facebook group. Remember, it's free, fun, and inspirational. Go to facebook.com/groups/Active Management Community.
What you leave behind is not what's engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.